That's just the arrow trying to invent your sentence. Poop. Okay, so I'm gonna read you this. And this talks about the habitat of different oceans. And we can talk about this kind of stuff. You do? How many oceans are there?
Just trying to get a screen set up. And
The ocean are about 70% of the earth. It includes 5 main oceans. So you should include that in your paragraph somewhere. Okay, so let's make some points. Okay. Covers 70% of Earth.
we've been live for a couple minutes. Haven't got anybody yet. We're gonna change that though.
Let's see. Did you hear the ocean is divided up into 3 vertical zones? The top layer is called, well, you don't want to get into all that, do you? Okay, so we'll just say it covers 70% of the earth and there are 5 main oceans. Do you know the name of the ocean?
Note to self, restart computer
Do you know the name of the ocean?
sooner than 8:40.
Pacific,
Didn't realize it would take all this just to get her fired up.
Indian Ocean,
Antarctica.
Atlantic Ocean,
That's the cold ocean.
the Arctic Ocean,
Antarctica.
there's one more. I don't know. Atlantic, Pacific, Indian, Arctic, and this is the Gulf.
There. There you go.
Southern, which would include the. Okay, so you gotta remember those, okay?
All right, we're still trying to get some shares out there. See if we can pull a few people in here.
The 16th, next Wednesday. All together. Okay, so. Okay.
So I will go ahead and get started. So first things first, in case you did not know, it was announced on the Freestyle Comics page that we are doing Freestyle Day. Freestyle Day is going to be amazing. That is happening August 11th, 2018. It will be hosted at Comic Town. Now, the scale and scope of Freestyle Day is going to be huge. Hear me now. We're going to have pro artists there. We're going to have musical performances, all types of fancy events for geekery and such. Let's not get carried away. Exclusive content just for this event. You're probably wondering, like, hey, what is Freestyle Comics Day, Mike? What is that going to be about? What is all that jazz? Well, Freestyle Comics Day, you know what the problem is? This is trying to sync. Why isn't it synced yet? Can I pause it? Yeah, we're going to pause it for a second. Yeah, that cleared up things. All right, so Freestyle Comics Day, we want to do a live fundraiser. We are trying to raise funds to help us produce comic books, and also get us out to new comic book conventions. We want to go more into the United States, further out towards the west. I hear there's some good shows in Denver, Texas, Portland, California, Atlanta. We want to get out to these shows. We want to get out to some new shows. We want to extend our reach. We want to extend our audience. In order to do that, we need funds because we have to pay for the tables. We got to pay for hotel. We got to pay for travel. So that is the number one goal of Freestyle Day. We're trying to raise money. The number two goal is to strengthen and expand our reach and audience in our hometown of Columbus, Ohio. Things that we're going to have popping at this event. Daryl Banks will be there. Yuko Smith, Brian Moss, Victor Dandridge, Bryn McKenzie, Allison Smith will be there as our pro artists, giving out some sketches to go with the sketchbook excuse me, that we will be selling at this venue. Then we're going to have musical performances by Diggy Dolce, Andre Lomax, and Absolute, performing original music inspired by FSK characters and books. So then we're going to also have exclusive content. There will be exclusive covers, there will be sketch covers, exclusive prints, there will be silent auctions, door prizes, raffle contests. We're going to do our 30-minute poster thing that we normally do for wizard shows. We're bringing that there. Sketch battles, all types of goodness. Man, and it's going to be at Comic Town, the Comic Town's new area. What else do we have popping off there? Cosplay. We're going to have our cosplays there. Vigilance will be there. Iron Smith will be there. And I'm working on getting Titan there as well. We might even see a hot shot something. I don't know. All that stuff is still in the works. Of course, we're going to have music there. We're going to have a good time. We want to put on a good show. All of our books are going to be available. And if you're in the Columbus area, we're doing this at 4 or 5 of the shops in Columbus. So if you can't make it out to Comic Town, that's okay, because we will be dropping brand new books that same day at the 4 of the shops. So we're going to be dropping books at Pack Rat, Comic Town, Capital City Comics, Laughing Ogre. I feel like I'm missing one. Which one am I missing? I got Comic Town. I got Pack Rat.
That's alright.
I got Laughing Ogre. I got Capital City.
Seahorses.
Capital.
Octopus.
I feel way bad because I feel like I'm forgetting a shop, and I know I am, and that's terrible. But they're all getting comics, right? So we're gonna drop those books the same day. We will also be doing What's Up, Dorfeast?
Sharks and dolphins.
Giacomo? I'm sorry if I pronounced your name wrong. But we are going to drop new books, exclusive covers for each one of those shops that day, so everybody gets some of the action of the Freestyle Comics celebration. What's up, Brian? And it's going to be a good time, man. It's going to be a good time. We will have some of our things for online orders, so you can pre-order it and get some of that stuff at a discounted price. But the basis and goal of it is to be a fundraiser. So every time I said I am super busy, that is what I have been doing, is working on this stuff. But not only that, but we had Free Comic Book Day. We had May the 4th be with you. And I got Wizard World Philadelphia coming up, and Han Solo event coming up here in Columbus. And then June is Wizard World Columbus, plus getting all the books done. So I'm actually going to hit you with, not that, it's trying to load. I'm going to hit you with the banner in the notes here. Waiting for it to load. So that's like the big thing that we're doing right now that we've been planning for. It's happening August 11th, along with all the comic book convention stuff that we're doing as well. We're partnered with Black Nerd Problems, Creative Control Fest, Vantage In-House Productions, and Comic Town and Heroes by the Pint who'll be doing a live podcast with us. So we're gonna have all what's up, Nicolette? What's up, Brian? I think I already said what's up to you, Brian. But we're gonna have all types of goodness at this event. And my FSK team, admin team, this is what we've been working on, amongst many other things that we're trying to make happen, and we're trying to make a big impact this year as a comic book publisher, doing a ton of different things and getting ready for upcoming comic book releases and new books that we're working on. And by the way, new books that we're working on, Zero Event is going to smack you in your face. What Victor Dandridge is doing with that book is ridiculous. All right, I cannot wait for you guys to get a hold of that and see what's happening with Zero Event. It's going to be one of those things where I'm probably going to pay homage to the classic because you demanded it. Here it is. Boom, the Zero Event, because a lot of people have been asking about the Zero Event. So this is being able to start to answer some of these questions and bring to rise some new questions with this story. It's a very, very, very good feeling, and for it to be something that a lot of people have asked about at the same time, it's exciting. It is super exciting that we're doing all that. What's up, Matt? So, not ready to announce the new character that we brought on yet. Not ready to announce that. I know I talked a little bit about this week, but I will be announcing that who that is and what character is shortly. So let's talk about Free Comic Day. Free Comic Day went pretty good. Free Comic Day at Pack Rat sold a lot of books. Our #1 selling book, coming back with a vengeance and knocking Vigilance off. Hot Shot #1 was the #1 selling comic book this past weekend. Vigilance was #2. It's cool having both those titles like go back and forth for it. We sold a good number of books, so a decent amount of prints to go with those books. But the best part of Free Comic Day is the interaction with everybody. I was there with Dirk Scher, Sean Forney, and Ren McKenzie. And it was cool. It was us in one room, and then Pack Rat always does it big with inflatables, and other vendors are out there and stuff like that. I'm getting a phone call on my other live, and they hung up. And they canceled my other live stream. That's terrible. What's up, Norma? Last 2 weeks of not live on my phone has not been cooperating. That's not good. See if we can get that back. Okay. So, Free Comic Day went great. I got to be on the Good Day Columbus on Friday to help promote that, and had a lot of people come back to get some new books, new copies of the stuff that they already had, and some new fans. And again, the best part of it is the conversation and the interaction with everybody.
You can practice doing that stuff with me tomorrow after you write your paragraph, okay?
Give me 1 second.
You can't rewrite your script. I have to write it.
Because I don't know why. It's not wanting to cooperate with me. That's pretty annoying. Excuse me.
And there are 5 main oceans, and I'll name the oceans. The oceans provide rain for crops through evaporation.
There we go.
Temperatures. The ocean range from freezing.
What's up, Ron?
Pools and into deep water.
All right, so we're back on the Freestyle Comics page. All right, so Free Comic Day went great. May the 4th be with us was a fun event that I did with Rogue Squadron, and again I was there with Ren McKenzie and a couple of different artists. Did not make, actually, for the first time that I've done that event, we did not make any sales on comic books or prints, but I did a lot of commissions that day. I normally sell a few copies of the books, and I definitely sell prints, but this is the first time I've done the Star Wars event and didn't sell any prints. I was a little shocked by that, a little taken back. I definitely looked at my setup, definitely looked at my art compared to what else was being sold or whatnot. Just wasn't in the cards for me on the selling thing, but commissions worked. Now what I've noticed is that I've been doing more and more commissions at that event. I haven't sold a ton of comic books or prints there. I've sold enough to know where I'm happy with what I'm doing or whatnot, but we always want to do more, right? So I was trying to find my leg in, like what can I do that would be different from what everybody else is doing because we all have prints.
The fish.
I thought comic books would stand out, but it's a Star Wars event, so they're not looking for a new comic book. They're looking for cool as artwork versus a whole new comic book title. So I did these little cards on 8.5 by 11, and I put the Rogue Squadron logo on there and made a force be with you. I just started drawing people as Star Wars characters. That really, people really enjoyed that. So I redesigned the sheet, brought it back again. People really enjoyed it. So I think next year that I will have a small display of comic books and prints with me, but we're going to stick with the commission strip because you never know who's going to buy the comic books or whatnot. And again, you have to be aware of the environment that you are selling in. And so taking notes on that for next year and moving forward. Next up is Wizard World Philadelphia, and that is, it's pretty hectic trying to get ready for that, get all the promo ready, get the table set up. I'm on the creative stage 3 times at Wizard World, and I've submitted something for a panel. So I really want to reach out to the audience and try to bring people back to the table. I also have books and stuff at my table for sale when I'm doing the creator stage or, when I'm at the panel, because some people may enjoy what I'm talking about, but they may be lazy and not want to walk back to my table because that Philly show is pretty big. And I'm not mad at them. So I want to make it as convenient as possible for people by carrying my stuff with me like in a little to-go tote. And, just have that stuff available. Now, Philly, Wizard World, we are going back there. So compared to last year, I should have about there's 4 books that will be new coming back to Philly. I've got a few new prints as well coming back to Philly. And I'm going to take my idea from May the 4th Be With You with the custom commission sheet, and I've customized a sheet for Philly Wizard World that I'll be taking out there to do commissions as well. I got my boom mic ready. So the boom mic is for when I go out and I talk to the people that are standing in line, and I will be giving them free tickets to come back to my table. I've got a couple of different free items that I'll be giving away, one for each day, and they will be limited runs. So boom mic's ready, got new prints and stuff like that. So I'm looking forward to Philly. Only thing I'm not looking forward to is the drive. The drive to Philly is long, but it's gonna be worth it. The Wizard World shows treat me good, and I can't wait to get out there. It's going to be exciting. So that's conventions. That's what's going on. So going on with FSK right now. We've really been in that planning stage for these events and getting ready for stuff. So what I've been talking about on my actual personal page, I asked a few questions, and so we got some dialogue going. You want to know if it'll load her up here. What we got over here? What's up, Mally? What's up, Laura? All right. We're going to open that up so I can share that. Oh, here's the exciting thing that's happening in Wizard World. I don't know if you guys are aware of this. The Philadelphia Pitch Fest. Wizard World has joined Sony in a partnership looking for new IPs to turn into movies. I have submitted my project to this Pitch Fest, and I'll be finding out shortly if I will be advancing to the next round where I will be talking in front of some executives on, whether they like the comic book or not. So super, super nervous and excited about that all in one. Dang, every time I get ready to do these questions and go over them, I'm like, oh yeah, that's really close to the top of my page, so I won't have to go far down there to go get it. And then I'm like, yeah, I do have to go far. I post a lot on the social media. While I'm looking at this stuff or looking for it, Avengers Infinity War was amazing. Know that and realize it and understand it. Stopover. Stealth's got a few more days. Make sure you go see the Stealth Kickstarter. I will post a link for that as well in the chat. And go show your support on there. We're really close to our goal. So help us get that because that book is good. I'm excited to get my book. I've already made my donation to it. Hey, there's a lot of stuff on here. I'll remember next week to be more prepped. Computer always moves slow when I do the live stream. Oh, basically the questions that I was asking, I was trying to see what other creators are doing. Boom, here we go. All right. So one of my questions is, do you have a set dollar amount you expect to make at each event that you attend? So any comic book conventions, any book signings, any anything that you're doing to promote your books in a public forum, do you have a set number that you're satisfied with, that if you hit that, you'll be good? Do you have a set number, or do you just go in there blindly? I have set numbers for each one of my events. If I make that goal, completely cool. If I don't make that goal, I'm trying to look at myself and the table and the event and like, what did I do? What was done wrong? What was done right? Why didn't we hit? How many people was I talking to? Was I positive? Was I enthusiastic? Was I engaging in my conversation? Did I give up on the sale? Or did I really push it enough? So I personally have a dollar amount for these things. So, you know, I'm making some headway. And so I was asking if anybody else had that. Didn't get a whole lot of responses on that one. But my next question was, what issues have you run into when you're planning your events? And Mike Lancet actually responded back to that one with a really good question, which is a problem that I've run into myself. And as he says, we have too much crap on our table at the conventions, and each item we're selling or advertising is completely different from the next. What's up, Archie? What's up, Jenny? Completely different from the next. We lack an actual theme. Hey, everybody, check out Mike's comic book that's aimed at young audiences, as well as my pinups of half-naked Instagram models doing risque poses that I turned into superheroes, as well as this video game fan art, as well as these colored pencils on wood illustrations that I did 5 years ago. We need an actual focus, an actual theme that can be recognizable as our particular brand and style. Also, we don't know how to push each crew member's respective projects equally. One project always gets overshadowed by another, and I'm not really sure how to fix these problems. Man, really, really, really good question. I've run into this problem a lot with my previous publisher, and being at sharing tables with other people as well. And you really don't know what to do until you've done it and experienced it and taken notes on how to improve it. So actual theme. Now you need to have a theme at your table. You're gonna have to figure out somebody's gonna get cut at the wayside. You need to have a focus, you need to have a theme. Whatever the main thing is at your table, that is what's going to sell. So you have to look at how your table's set up. If my table's more print focused, I'm going to sell more prints. If my table's more comic book focused, I'm going to sell more comic books. I would personally prefer to sell more comic books and do commissions versus prints. But I'm still trying to figure out how to get the commission aspect of it into my narrative. So that's still a work in progress for me. But I know I'm tiptoeing on the line of just 90% comic books and just having a small print portfolio there for people to flip through at their choosing. But that's gonna involve some big changes with my actual setup. So if you guys are a comic book publisher, then you guys need to have comic book artwork out there. You need to have comic books out there presented and stuff like that. The wood art and the risque models are going to have to go, unless one thing that we did back in the day when we were attending space is we pretty much bought out a whole row. Each of us had a table, and it was like 5 of us, and we just owned that lane. And we were very vocal, we were very loud, and we had contests, we had giveaways. Provided a free item for that giveaway whenever we did it. we kind of just shuttled people down the line if they got done with one of our tables, and we just passed on. Hey, go check out this table, they have this or whatnot. One issue that I ran into with an older publisher is that we had 5 books at the table, and then each one of the creators were at that table. And it would be a back and forth of each creator trying to fight for space to be able to speak on their book. And what should have been done was, or what we wanted to do was create one pitch. And the easiest way to do this is when somebody comes up and shows interest, unless they specifically go towards one thing, ask them what they're interested in. What do you like? If it's multiple issues or multiple different comic book titles, there's like, what kind of comic books are you into? Or we have different art, or what kind of art are you looking for? Just get them involved, get them speaking on it. So then once they direct you to what lane they're in, then that respective person can take over in that conversation. What I like to do when I'm sitting at a table with multiple books, I like to ask, what book are you into? But if they're just like looking around at multiple different titles, I just give them the 2-minute pitch over the books that we have at the title and ask them which one relates to them or whatnot. And that comes with practice, and that comes with filling it out, because every conversation is not going to be the same. It's going to be different every single time, and you're going to have to adjust. So it's not going to be like an exact template on how to do this. We need an actual focus theme, so we don't know how to push. And something you have to do, you have to know other people's projects, especially if you're going to be pushing those projects and stuff. So that would mean reading the books of your teammates, asking questions about it, asking them what their log line is, what their tagline is, how they pitch the book or whatnot, listening to them when they pitch the books so that you're able to do those things as well. My next question I asked, what events have you planned for your comics? I want to know what kind of things people were doing. Chris Thomas has said he's had signings at comic shops, especially for Free Comic Book Day. He's done the comic book conventions. Marvin Wynn has a comic convention coming up in June, he has an event coming up in June, but doesn't have all the details to tell anybody about it yet. And then he just started hitting comic book conventions. So when I'm asking about what events have you planned for your comic books, that's the type of stuff I'm asking for. Back a while ago, we did an FSK Day, probably about 5 or 6 years ago, and it was open to families and stuff, and we did a cosplay contest with the kids. We did a creator character contest, and then I had Hot Shot #1 broken down into like some still animation with voiceovers, so the kids watched that as an episode. And we had a coloring section for kids to fill out and color coloring books and stuff like that. Then we did like a 3 or 4 hour intermission, and we came back and we had musical performances, and it was more of an adult atmosphere. And that went over really well. And of course, we have done book signings. And I kind of like to take over with the book signings. So we had food, we had drink there. I had my interns and stuff that were helping me. It was like a big event when we came into the comic book shop or whatnot. Of course, doing Free Comic Book Day, creating the events. When I go to comic book conventions, I just don't go to comic book conventions, especially big ones. I try to schedule stuff and make it epic when we're there or whatnot. Now, what I thought was hilarious, and I did it was a trap. I thought this was really cool. I asked 1, 2, 3. I asked 3 specific Dear Creative questions about being an indie artist or indie creator or creative and asking what you're doing. And then I asked 1 question about, I want to know your favorite Marvel character, only 1. And I got over 60 responses on that. But on the creative questions, I got 3 or 4 responses on it. I just thought that was really funny. Like, everyone was ready to hit me with a response for that, but like, where were the creatives at on the other creative stuff? So that's pretty much it. That's all I got. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up, and same time next week, right before Philly Wheels of World. Thanks for tuning in. If you got any questions, be sure to check out the Dare Creative event page. Join it so you can see updates of when Dare Creative is going to happen. And then Freestyle Comics Day is coming. I've just put that down there in our chat as well. So be sure to check that out. And be sure to go see the Stealth Kickstarter. I will add a link to that one as well. Go show some support to Short Fuse and William for what we're doing with Stealth. And thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll catch you next week. And